Now live to our correspondent Charles Pellegrin. Charles, firstly, what's on the agenda for Emmanuel Macron on this, his first evening in the country?
Well, he's expected to land in Shanghai within the next hour, and after that, he'll be attending a gala dinner hosted by President Xi Jinping and his wife to inaugurate this China International Import Expo that's being held in Shanghai this week. After that gala dinner, he'll be attending a meeting with French and German business leaders that will also be attended by the EU Agricultural Commissioner as well as the German Minister for Education. Well, just looking at this program, it highlights one thing, that when it comes to China, France means business, and that's quite literal, actually. France is trying to gain market access for French companies and European companies in the Middle Kingdom, and also working through dialogue to try and have a level playing field for French, European businesses and Chinese businesses in each other's countries. And they're hoping to do this two ways. First off, by making sure that the EU is involved at every level, just as we're seeing with this meeting that's being attended by German business leaders as well as the German Minister for Education, and as well by trying to hold China to its own commitments, to its own words. Xi Jinping has said that he wants to make China even more open to the world economy, and actually this Shanghai Import Fair is one of those signals of this commitment, that it wants to be even more involved in the world economy.
Okay, so business clearly the main focus of this trip, but any hint that more perhaps delicate topics like Hong Kong might be discussed?
Well, when it comes to these kinds of topics, the French presidency actually believes that the bilateral meetings are not the perfect forum for these topics to be discussed. They say that the president has said that when it comes to the relationship between China and France, there are no taboos. There's only respectful dialogue. So these topics could be dealt with in private. But generally, when it comes to the human rights question in China, France prefers to use the EU or UN level to express any statements on these matters. I mean, in the past year or so, we've seen joint declarations at the EU and UN level condemning China for its record in Xinjiang, where there's a massive internment campaign going on for the ethnic Uyghur minority, or for China's handling of the situation in Hong Kong, with the protests going on there since June. But really, France doesn't want to use what it calls a megaphone diplomacy. They think that they can accomplish more with a dialogue-based approach, and this is very different from the American approach recently, which has been much more openly critical of Beijing. And coincidentally or not, this approach does not jeopardize France's economic interests.
Okay, Charles, for now, thanks indeed for that. Charles Pellegrin coming to us live from Beijing. And of course, we heard Charles there mention